Can I help you? Josh, you are adorable. Yes, I know. I have to tell the nerds about the same camping gear that I use at the same events that I go to. Live from my apartment, we go over the stuff I took to Kharkiv. Bo is here. Bo is featured in the video. All right, we're just gonna go over like my rucksack, what I had in my rucksack. I have like my cool fighting gear stuff behind me, so let's get into it. This is my second event running my Rook Osprey 68. It's pretty nice. I'll go over kind of the modifications and stuff I want to make to it. I think I'm going to switch away from this and go to something else I'll talk about towards the end of the video. Based on how Frostbite went and how cold that was, I decided to go with the tried and true Hunker Down sleeping bag from REI. That's the one that I've had for a couple years. That is the good to go sleeping bag for any California-based Milsim West event. I am still using the same baby sack that I got off Amazon. I will be making modifications to my sleep system also that I'll be talking about towards the end of this, and I'll explain why. It's not that it's inferior or not good gear to use. I'm just looking for a few extra creature comforts, and I'll talk about that towards the end. Or if I did this right, there should be like little chapter things in the description. I definitely brought the very expensive, kind of expensive, it's like 180 bucks new. I got it for 150 used. This is my fancy civilian whoopee that I got from my homegirl, Alyssa. That thing was great. So the way that I had it was I had my bivy sack on the outside as my outer layer, and then stuffed in there was my REI sleeping bag, and then stuffed in there was my whoopee, and I was perfectly fine. Other sleep system things that I did have just for sleeping, I had a really nice pair of gloves. I don't know who made these. These were a Christmas present from my brother and his fiance. They are like, I think this is some sort of fancy, I don't know, like a fleece lining or something, but they're leather on the outside, and I wore them specifically for sleeping because they're a Christmas present and I didn't want to get them filled with cow shit from Kharkiv. My sleeping socks held up very good. I still have my outers, and then I have a pair of dry or moisture wicking socks under them. I also threw one of those chemical heaters, like those little hot hands or whatever. I also threw one of those down in sort of the foot area of my feet, and that was amazing. I had zero problem sleeping at night. It was cold, it was rainy, it was windy. My sleep setup was good to go. I also had my balaclava thing and my sleeping beanie. This is how I sleep at night at a Milsim West event. I have this as my base layer, my balaclava. I have my iPro tucked in. You see how I'm not wearing it on the outside? I'm wearing it on the, I don't want to jam my eyes, on the inside, and then I have my beanie on top of my head. I'm bald as shit, so my head gets cold at night. Still using the Nemo switchback. I'm never going away from this. This thing is gospel. My little kitchen bag. I had my, my camping spoon. I use the small jet oil canisters, so it's more space friendly. And then it all fits into the big jet oil. Because I have the Minimo, so it all fits in the big bowl. I had my little, I call it my kitchen bag. This is the cool bag that came with my bivy sack. I emailed this company, be like, hey, can I just get these bags? And they're like, yeah, we don't do that. Sorry, buddy. I also took deodorant, which I used a lot because I smelled like cow manure. I have about 3 different headlamp systems. This one is a dual color, so it's got red and white. This one has white bright, white flood, and then red, which I love using. I had 2 ponchos, mostly for making shelters and keeping myself not wet. So I would have one as a shelter extension, and the other one I was wearing on my body at night, just sort of walking the line basically and checking on dudes. I brought a couple tent spikes because those came in very handy for making little shelters. So last year at Kharkiv, we didn't make shelters. There weren't really any tents. You didn't really see that. This year, because of the anticipated rain, look at my video on Kharkiv. Like, there were shanty shelters everywhere. It's like a hobo camp. And I brought a couple things of cordage with D-rings on the end of them to make hasty little shelters. This was the first time I actually ran my waterproof Merrell Moabs for an entire event from start to finish. These are the waterproof ones. I didn't have any problems. I was stepping in puddles, doing all kinds of clumsy, dumb stuff. These were amazing. What I took but did not use, and I'll go over that in this bit, I have Gore-Tex rain pants that I got from a surplus store, and also regular Amazon thin rain pants. Now, in the past, I usually just wear rain pants because they're a little bit thinner, and if you're moving around, that's something to take into consideration. I also brought two so I could have one for myself and one for someone who would probably not have that stuff. I ended up not wearing them at all because it rained at night, and the one night rain mission, I wasn't on that. I stayed back at fob security, made sure like no one at the fob fell asleep if they were on watch. So that is why I just wore a poncho. Now, if I was going on mission, I would take my regular pants off, put these on as my sole pair of pants, and wear these. So in theory, I would be wearing these and then just underoos. I don't like wearing regular pants with a rain outer shell because you're gonna sweat a lot and it's not fun. You're not gonna have a good time. All in, everything that I was initially rucking in. Now also keep in mind that I had my rucksack with a chair with my AEG strapped into this because I was mostly running blank fire. All in, I was probably rucking about 50 pounds. If I didn't have that, so if I would have had one gun and no chair, maybe 40, if that. This chair I think weighs 8 or 10 pounds. This is the REI Skyward. It's really good. I think it's like 8 or 10 pounds, something like that. Just my ruck alone was probably 35, 40 pounds, plus all the extra stuff I had on with it, plus my gear. I was probably walking with an extra 50 pounds, but I've been doing Stairmaster workouts since December, so I had no problems. I was fine. Look at this ass. Look at this ass. This ass can ruck 50 pounds. For BB fighting gear this year, I decided to do blank fire for the first time ever. I'm going to do a video. Can I help you? I'm going to do a video separate on this experience that goes over everything. I also had my airsoft, my AEG, with the same ENL AKM AEG that you've seen in all my other Mills and West content. I had that. But I mostly used blank fire. You know damn well I used my Smersh. Now, is it a little blasphemous that I was running a Smersh with an M4? Yes. Yes, it is. Do I care? No, go fuck yourself. You know damn well I'm still rocking my Gorka jacket. I love this thing. This is the Mordor Tac Gorka jacket. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm not going to go away from this as a jacket. I absolutely adore this. Still rocking the Mordor Tac pants. I can't find these anymore. I think they're completely sold out or they stopped making them or whatever. So I've got these. These are the Partisan pattern. Partisan's one of my favorite Russian patterns. I really like the older retro stuff. I don't really wear anything modern other than obviously my EMR Gorka. As a top, this is just the thin gray shop top. I think it's part of their recon set or whatever. So I generally always wear this as like a regular utility top. And then I wear these as tack pants because I don't want to wear these pants in the field because they don't feel that great. It's a personal thing. You're damn right. I got some new ones. These are a little stretchier. I got these on Amazon. It's a little bit more stretchier material to them. There is no, I don't think there's any Russian writing on them, so these are probably just Chinese knockoffs, which are fine, but they were on Amazon. I got like the double XL size because I found that these run a little tighter than like your average t-shirt, and I'm a fat fuck, so I got a dub XL. In my ruck, I also have a separate like a change of clothes for stuff, so I've got another undershirt. This is a just an athletic moisture wicking top. I've got another sleeveless shirt in here. I'm sorry, I have more long sleeve shirts in here. My extra socks, my underoos. I took about 6 pairs of socks because it was expected to be rainy. Here's a little pro tip for you. In the car, you want an extra change of clothes bag. Here's the way I do it. On my bottom layer, I have what I call my post-shower clothes. Then I have a towel, and then on top of that, I have what I call my post-event clothes. What I do is as soon as I get back to the truck after the AAR and after we get all our crap off the AO, I immediately strip down to my underwear, put on usually my Crocs, like a tank top, and then like some booty shorts just so I can let everything air out, because everyone smells like a barn after Kharkiv. So I wear those clothes to take me from the AO to the pilot, where the showers, the truck stop showers, take a shower, and then afterwards I put on my post-shower clothes, which is usually just whatever, you jeans, t-shirt, blah, 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 new underoos, stuff like that. I'm still rocking these Valken glasses. I am not really a fan of anything Valken makes as far as like their guns and their gear and blah, 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 blah. Their freaking eye pro is amazing. I saw these for about 20 bucks. I've worn these for every Milsim West event I've been to, I've had these on. Still got my UV82. I think this is one of the best radios you can use for airsoft. I haven't really had any problems with these. The only thing you're gonna wanna keep in mind is that since Chirp got updated, you have to get a new cable to connect your radio to the Chirp program on your computer. Otherwise, it's not gonna recognize your radios. So I got that new cable off Amazon and programmed all the freaks into my radio. I had zero comms problems the entire event. I always, for Kharkiv at least, I will always print and laminate an AO mat. See the thing that they email out, get the thing they always have out in like the group chat and stuff, or I'm sorry, in the faction group. I always print and email one of these things and land nav my way through it. So the first thing I do is I will go in and I will plot where check-in is, which it's not that hard to find. And then after check-in, Saturday morning, once the sun comes up, I plot where we are, because usually it's kind of easy to figure out where you're at. There's some pretty significant geo markers on there that you can use, like bends and rivers and stuff like that. Get a decent idea of where I'm at, especially based on hilltops. And then I just sort of keep track of where we're at grid-wise from there, just for my own awareness. That's just for me, so I hold on to whatever is left of my crappy 10 level MP land nav skills. You don't need to do this if you're not leadership. If you're a platoon leader, if you're a platoon leader or a platoon sergeant, one of you is going to have a decent ATAX connection, or you're just going to know where NATO is, because it's, in the grand scheme of things, not a huge AO. Like, you can go, oh, they're in that northwest corner. Like, oh, we're just going to walk over there until we find them. Cool, let's go. Adjustments I'm going to be making for the October event going forward. Blatefire inspired a new loadout. I'm going to probably rock a true spec M81 top, or just get one of the Nate Fritter Customs M81 tops with the cool pockets and the sideways dealies and all that stuff. OD green pants. I've got a standard normal kind of plate carrier setup, because I'll most likely be a platoon sergeant or a platoon leader, or just someone very helpful. So I'm going to need something for the little phone fold out dealie, and then, some other stuff. Switch back to a normal plate carrier setup. So I used a Condor with dummy plates for the last Desert Fox events that was last weekend. Had a great time with it. Probably make some adjustments to it, and it's going to be good to go. I'm also going to be switching up to a large Rothko enhanced Alice pack with frame, because the one downside or drawback of a civilian ruck is it doesn't have the big pockets you want to get at things. So every time, this is also specific to that ruck. There's a few rucks that I've seen that have it. Most of them are just like one big like synthetic fabric tube. So I'm going to switch it up to the OG Alice rucks, so it has all those bigger compartments to them, so I don't have to open the main compartment every time. And it's a little bit more retro gangster with an M80 top and kind of like a militia vibe. And I do kind of miss the OG Alice packs, so I'm going to switch up to one of those. The new sleep system I'm going to go to is back to the 3-piece Army issued, the bivvy and the summer or the patrol bag and the winter bag, because it has the button lining, and that's so great. So that old 3-piece GI system, you could clip it all together using buttons. That way when you moved, it didn't. The one kind of pain in the ass with the current sleep system that I have is you operate like a hull and turret of a tank. So you're just sort of like free spinning inside this fabric shell, and that can just sort of get real tight in the middle of the night, or especially when I was using my whoopee inside of there, that was spinning up all over the place. Just like if you watched my frostbite video, I had the same problem. So to kind of keep my sleep system in place, which is really just a house cat desire for my part, I'm going to go back to the OG 3-piece USGI issued sleep system. I think that's only like $200-300. An Alice pack, brand new, large. The enhanced Rothco one is like with frame, $200-300. I'll be pretty good to go with that. And that is it. Thank you for watching. I will see you nerds at the Silk Road Insurgency. Come swing by the wedding chapel. I'll see you guys later.